Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Crimson Vow draft here on the channel. The format is back for a week, so I'm going to be drafting it to give you a bit of a refresher. I'll be going pick by pick, play by play, talking through everything so you'll know what to do. It's going to be a lot of fun. This is a pretty cool set. The first thing you should know, red-black is generally the best color combination because blood is a pretty good mechanic. There are also quite a few very strong rares in the set. Dream Shacklegeist is one of them. Just 3 mana, 3/1 flyer, already good. And then you can just keep one of your opponent's creatures tapped forever. So really, really good card. One of the things I particularly liked doing in this format was playing some of the counterspell based decks. Like Siphon Essence was a card I liked more than a lot of other players. This pack actually has quite a few cards like that because I also thought Scattered Thoughts was pretty decent. And you can kind of build like an instant speed control deck, which is pretty fun to do. Other things that I remember about this format is you kind of want to make sure you have unconditional removal when possible because there are some pretty scary top end cards that you really want to be able to deal with. Blood tokens are in this set, which make it easier to like filter through draws. And we'll be talking about other things as they come up, but those are some of the things that come to mind. Red-green was also a pretty good color combination. But like green-white was a really like bad deck in the format. Here, Parasitic Grasp is very tempting. This is just a really good card. Blue-black didn't really come together as an exploit deck. That's one of the mechanics in the set, but it does have like some good cards in it. And this card is quite good. There are some humans in the set, but also just one black, deal 3, gain 3 is pretty good at instant speed. We have a Dream Shacklegeist already. Blue-black Control is a cool deck. And other than this card, there isn't really anything crazy in the pack. Flourishing Hunter is a pretty nice top-end card for green decks. You just gain a decent chunk of life, but it's not like insane. Restless Bloodseeker isn't really like super easy to get going all the time. And yeah, blue-red's like okay, but nothing too spectacular in that color combination, I don't think. But off to a pretty good start. Okie doke. Yeah, like this is the sort of card that green gets. Like this just isn't a very good card. This card really underperformed. We're seeing a few green cards, but none of them are particularly high power level. Doomed Dissenter might be okay for a blue-black deck. Chill of the Grave might also be okay as a just nice instant speed card. This was a card that was better than I always thought it was, but it was never a card I really prioritized. But we do have Dream Shacklegeist that we'd like to play, and there's nothing spectacular in this pack. I think it's mainly between like Doomed Dissenter and Chill of the Grave. These green cards are like okay, but not really things to write home about. Like they look like they'd be really good Spore Crawler, Weaver of Blossoms, but they just didn't play out that way. I think I'm going to take... I'm going to take Doomed Dissenter, just to make sure I get a 2-drop creature. Okay, there's a Wretched Throng. This card was sometimes alright. Spiked Ripsaw, sometimes alright as well. Ballista Watcher is a pretty good card. I love Falcon Wrath Celebrants. This card's excellent. Just really good top-end card because it makes it almost impossible to flood out after you play this. Ballista Watcher is also really good. You can just ping stuff down. But it is a bit expensive to do that. I think Falcon Wrath Celebrants just does what it needs to do right off the bat. So we'll take this. Blood tokens are a really good mechanic. Okay. Now we're seeing Ragged Recluse as a good way. You can flip it by using blood tokens. Nurturing Presence is better than it looks, but still not a high priority here. We're going to try to avoid white. It's not seeming overwhelmingly open. Wedding Invitation is actually like a playable card, even though it might not look like high impact. In the right deck, it's pretty reasonable. We see Scattered Thoughts, Ragged Recluse. There's not a single red card in the pack. Red was very good in this set, if I recall correctly. If I do recall correctly. It featured in red-black and red-green, 2 of the best decks. There's a little bit of green here. I think I'm going to take Scattered Thoughts or Ragged Recluse. Probably Scattered Thoughts just to secure myself a copy of it if I am trying to build an instant speed blue-black deck. That could be something I go for. Okay, now I'll get an Evolving Wilds, get myself some fixing. Cobbled Lancer is just a little bit finicky, not my favorite. There's also another Doomed Dissenter, but I just like the Evolving Wilds because if I do want to splash, like I open a bomb or something, this is really useful to have access to. And I'm not going to miss a Doomed Dissenter. Syncopate, my kind of card. I really like these counterspell decks in the format. I'm not going to take a white card here. Green doesn't seem super open either. Syncopate is a really easy pickup for me. I love having Scattered Thoughts, Parasitic Grasp, and now Syncopate. It just gives me a lot of flexibility. I already said at the very beginning, I am I do like these counterspell decks in the format, and we're in good shape to start drafting one. Aim for the Head is okay in some spots. Persistent Specimen is sometimes okay as well if you're using like exploit synergies. I don't love Repository Scab. You can sometimes play it. This card's okay, but kind of hard to use. I think it's between Aim for the Head and Persistent Specimen. Lantern of the Lost, not really a card I prioritize ever, but we'll take this card just in case we need it. And yes, we wield this card perfect. I really like Siphon Essence. I think it's actually quite good. You can get yourself into a good spots with it. If you just make sure you have enough early drops like Doom Dissenters so you don't fall behind, Siphon Essence is really nice. And now Rottide Gargantua actually could do some stuff for us. We have a Persistent Specimen and a Doom Dissenter already. Lantern of the Lost is not like horrible because there is some graveyard stuff, I think. Like there's some disturbed creatures and stuff that come back as enchantments. But it's overall just not really a card to prioritize. And you can sometimes play the Gargantua. The goal, though, is to like play a couple of 2-drops and then just start holding up mana every turn so they can never resolve their key bombs, while also progressing your game plan by using things like Scattered Thoughts. I'm going to finish this hand pie that I started. Trader Joe's, by the way, great store. Ooh, a lot of green cards coming back. We'll take Weaver. Weaver's the best card in this pack. This is actually a reasonable card. I'm not super surprised it came back. Green is not really a huge priority. Wretched Throng can get there sometimes. I'm surprised this wheeled. If you get enough copies of it, it's totally worth playing. Especially if you're going to be able to exploit it. But I think we're in good shape here. We have a really powerful rare. Good synergy with our cards. Mind Leech School is a nice pickup. And Bramble Armor, which is one of the funniest includes because it was also in Midnight Hunt, the set right before it, and it was never played there either. We did open a black rare, but it is not a particularly playable card. And here you're going to get to see some of the unique strategy of the set because, so this rare, not particularly playable. When you discard a card, you get a zombie, which is good with blood, but not really good with a ton else. A Braid, fantastic common, one of the best. One of the reasons red is one of the best colors. And then we see Bleed Dry, Siphon Essence, Screaming Swarm. Screaming Swarm is a big flyer that kind of works with like mill and stuff. Looks quite good, but we're just going to take Bleed Dry, and it's not even particularly close. This card's also quite good, but we're not playing green. But Bleed, it's normally got a different artwork. I don't know why it automatically defaulted. But Bleed Dry is perfect for what we want. It's a removal spell that can kill any card. No questions asked, pretty much. And we should wield the Siphon Essence based on the first pack, which gives me a lot of confidence. And we might even, if we don't wield this, we might wield the Spirit, which could also be okay. Bleed Dry is perfect for our deck. Path of Peril. Destroy all creatures, mana value 2 or less. There's a Wretched Throng, Witch's Vengeance. I think I'm just going to take the Wretched Throng here. I don't need a second Persistent Specimen. I'm not going to go into white. I have no reason to. I'm not really going to go into red either. I don't love Mind Leech Ghoul. I already have one Throng. If you have a few of them, you can just kind of do your thing. Ceremonial Knife is sometimes better than it looks, but not really for my deck. I just want to have 2-drops to play so that by turn 3, I can just start holding up my cards. This also makes it so they don't want to attack into you. And I don't really want to splash white to just get a random board sweeper. I would probably honestly wheel the Throng, but there's nothing else I want more from that pack. Lantern Bearer is fantastic. Really, really good card. And a high priority for any deck. Just gives you something to do early, and if you mill it, it's good, and it just comes back late. Really, really good card. Chill of the Grave did not wheel in pack 1. I'm not super sad about it, though. Doom Dissenter is going to be good in my deck, I think. And Chill of the Grave is kind of hard to use sometimes. One of the things is you want to be able to hold up your counters the entire turn cycle, and this kind you have to do it pre-combat. Grisly Ritual, you kind of want to have like one copy of that in a lot of your decks, but you don't need to prioritize it that heavily. I like the Lantern Bearer. And now there is a Blood Fountain. There's also a Selhoff Entomber. Discard a creature so you can like get rid of like extra Wretched Throngs. You can get rid of like a bunch of random stuff, honestly, like Lantern Bearers. Cobbled Lancer, again, not a card I want to prioritize. It's just kind of finicky to use, which is kind of annoying. This is a top end card. We're just going to take the Blood Fountain. Cheap play that can be used later. When a frog control attacks, mill 3, you play lands. We're just going to take another Siphon Essence. Again, just a card I really like. Gift of Fangs is a decent removal spell, but Siphon Essence is fantastic for these sorts of control decks that I like to build. Okay, and now we see this guy. I like this card a lot. It hits pretty hard. It's just a 4-mana 3/3 that comes with a blood is also nice. There is a Repository Scab, so maybe we'd want that. But we can get those a little bit later. I think this card's pretty nice, I think. I like this card that just kind of does its own thing. You don't need to really worry about it. Doom Dissenter, you can play that early. Works out. Alchemist Retrieval is a card that we could totally play because we can bounce their stuff to then counter it on the way back down. But we're just going to take another Doom Dissenter. Keep myself set up with this kind of stable game plan. This card's pretty neat. This isn't a very good card. We're just going to take another Blood Fountain. We might not play it, though. I don't think we want multiple Persistent Specimens, though. Perfect. We wield the Siphon Essence. Again, I really wanted to wheel this card. I didn't really care about the Steel-clad Spirit because I have plenty of 2-drops. I've got 5 2-drops already. And now having 3 Siphon Essences and a Scattered Thoughts and a Bleed Dry. So like the more instants you have that do diverse things, the better it is. So we've got 4 counter spells. We've got this thing we can hold up to do at instant speed. We've got Grasp and Bleed Dry. So pretty much any card that costs more than 2 mana, we want it to be an instant or incredibly powerful. So Socialite is pretty strong. This card, not so much, but it's very good in our deck because we have a lot of exploit fodder. Okay, we'll maybe take the Ceremonial Knife just in case. I don't think we ever want to play Serpentine Ambush. Though it does buff our guys pretty substantially. It's just kind of really hard to use because we're a defensive deck and that's more of an aggressive card. So we're basically never going to flood because this makes blood, this makes blood. And so we can maybe even play like 18 lands or something. Because we just have so much filtering and we just never want to miss land drops and we just want to force them to play their cards first. One of the things that I've found with this strategy in particular, because this is one that I kind of played a lot. This is a really good card, by the way. Traveling Minister is like the best white common. It just gains you a lot of life and just makes all of your creatures bigger. So take Traveling Minister higher than pick 11. But yeah, this deck is really good. We have 20 playables. We have an Evolving Wilds to help our mana. We might even play 18 lands, but we can probably just get away with 17. We don't need to play Mind Leech Ghoul. It's probably our weakest 2-drop. Sellhop Entomber maybe is playable. I don't think it really is, though. This card's really bad. So is the Moldgraph Millipede. This card's really bad as well. We're in really good shape here. What do we get? Investigator's Journal. Suspect count is equal to the number of greatest. Oh yeah, this card's really not great. This card's really good though. So this card makes us want to have ways to sacrifice, because if you sacrifice this, it's just huge. So like currently we have Mind Leech Ghoul and Rot Tide Gargantua as ways to exploit. And both of those are pretty solid. There's another Falconwrath Celebrants, but we're not going to splash that. We already have some removal and stuff. This card's okay. This card's hard for us to use. This card's really good in green. This is a really good red card. It's close between that and Celebrants, honestly. I mean, like, Abrade is the clear pick, but Celebrants is honestly not as far behind as you'd think. Pretty nice Biolume Egg, though. Okay, so now this is an interesting pick, because there's the Whispering Wizard. When you cast a non-creature, you create a 1/1. We have a lot of non-creatures. But the Biolume Egg is just so fantastic. We're probably going to wheel this Mind Leech Ghoul, and we're going to find ways to use it. We already have this. We're going to get a couple more Exploiters, I think, and this is just really nice pickup. Getting past an Abrade is a bit of a signal, maybe. Okay, so this pack has Jacob Hauken, Mythic blue card. So this just lets us loot, and then we can flip it eventually. I'm honestly not sure this card is what our deck wants. We kind of want our 2-drops to just be a bit more defensive. This is a 2-mana 2/1 flyer. When it comes to target of a spell I control, draw a card. I don't really have a ton of ways to target it. There's also a Lantern Bearer, a 2-mana 3/3. Jacob Hauken is good in theory, but it doesn't actually block very well, which does bug me. I kind of want to just take this guy. Yeah, I'm just going to take the 2/1 flyer. That could be wrong. I just don't really care about the reason I made that pick, even though it looks a little bit unintuitive, is this card can actually help me win the game and enact my game plan by trading early in the game, and then late game it hits them for 2 a turn. I have so many blood tokens that I don't think it's really going to matter the looting ability. Tapping out the 6 mana to get a little bit of extra card advantage also isn't super relevant. It's just going to leave me shields down, which I really don't want to do. And yeah, Wandering Mind, pretty reasonable. I'm just going to take the Binding Geist. Kind of a little bit of value there. And we did get the Grisly Ritual. Nice. I did want 1 copy of this. Draw 3 cards. There's also Ragged Recluse. I'll take Ragged Recluse. I don't really need the 5 mana draw 3. It's a bit slow in a lot of cases. Perfect. A Mind Leech School is just what we wanted. We just want anything that lets us exploit. This card's really good. Mind Leech School with Biolume Eggs. I'm just going to take the Diagraph Scavenger. This card's really, really nice. Now we get this guy. We're not going to play it, though. We're not going to play 2 Wretched Throngs either. So the other thing is I can play this as a 2/1 that can trade in combat, which is really important to me. Because as I've been saying kind of this whole time about my strategy. Perfect, this card came back. Now I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to have 4 cards that work with Biolume Egg, which I think is just enough to make it good. But as I was saying, my whole plan is to play a 2-drop or a 1-drop and then just hold up mana pretty much as possible for the rest of the game. And if I can't do that, then my deck kind of falls apart a little bit. I don't think I need that guy. I'm just going to take this card. Maybe my deck ends up being slower than I think it is. Because I have a lot of counter magic that I want to be holding up. The Heron's actually not a terrible card, but it's not really what my deck wants. Maybe I'm going to regret not taking the Jacob Hauken, but I don't think really I will. I don't think it's actually that insane of a card. It's like a 2-mana O2 looter, which is good, don't get me wrong. But I need my 2-drops to be able to trade because I'm planning on not doing anything. Like if I play Jacob Hauken on turn 2 and they have a 2-drop as well, I'm just seeing scenarios where they hit me for like 8 damage with their 2-drop while I'm holding up counter magic, which I don't want. I want my 2-drop to be able to trade with theirs. And then if I'm on the play, I want to be able to counter their 3-drop or like deal with it in some other way. And once you have a certain amount of filtering in your deck, you don't really need that much more. So we don't need this guy. We don't need this. Desperate Farmer's interesting. Because I do have some ways to flip that on my own terms. Let's just check my colors. I'm heavier black than blue. Look at how many 2-drops in black I have. And a lot of, yeah. Interesting. I think I'm going to cut the Persistent Specimen. No, with 3 Mind Leech Schools, I think I'm going to keep it in, actually. Gives me a good 1-2 punch. Doom Dissenter is pretty good. I have a lot of good 2-drops, a lot of good 1-drops. Blood Fountain. I can return creatures from my graveyard to my hand. Up to 2. I don't really have good creatures to get back. So I think I'm just going to cut those 2. Got the Lantern Bearer, some good stuff there. Grasp is good. Desperate Farmer's a little bit finicky. It does gain me a lot of life, potentially. Binding Geist, I can discard it to a blood token, but overall not like the most impressive card in the world. It's fine. Blood Crazed Socialite, maybe not what I want. Desperate Farmer, maybe not what I want. Let's check out my creature count. 15 creatures. I think this is a pretty reasonable balance. We'll see how it ends up working out, but I'm excited to try this deck out. I think this is a card I could consider running. This is a card I could consider running, and this is a card I could consider running. But all of my cards are pretty solid. The Gargantua is not a card I always run, but with the Biolume Eggs, I really just want to get those rolling. Yeah. We could also cut a Doomed Dissenter, but I think this is going to be pretty solid, and I will see you folks in the games. Hey there! Before I get to the games, I want to shout out the NicolaiBolas Patreon, a place to go if you are enjoying my videos and would like to contribute monetarily. Patreon.com/NicolaiBolas is the place to go. You'll gain access to some cool rewards like my card-by-card tier list for each set, and also drafts with me when I do those for each set, and things of that nature. So there are cool perks that you get as a patron, but it also just helps me run the channel successfully and smoothly. The funds help me upgrade my microphones and things of that nature, and also just dedicate the time and effort needed to make high quality content on a consistent basis. If you're interested, there's a link in the description below, and I do want to give a special shout out to those who support at the credits level. I really do appreciate it. Without further ado though, let's get to the epic matches. Welcome to round number 1. We have a very good hand here on the draw. Got an answer to an early creature. We got an egg plus sacrifice. And that is a human that we can kill. Ooh, that's a bit laggy. Not where I like to be. Being on the play with my deck is a lot better because I can then use my counter spells on more empty board states and hold up mana on empty board states more often. But I think we'll be fine. The egg is just such a good card. Ah! So they're going to start hitting me for 4 turn. I could Parasitic Grasp this Minister right now. I'm starting to regret not doing that. Oh, okay, so they're just going to absolutely obliterate me here. So now I actually do have a plan. This thing costs 3 to use, so I'm going to play... perfect, they tapped out pre-combat. Okay, now my Diagraph Scavenger can get rid of that guy. So this is if you attacked. 2 more creatures, you draw a card. When am I on? What's my plan for flipping this guy? Not super crazy. And this thing's going to be a 2/2 eventually, so trading that off is fine. This is one of the reasons Diagraph Scavengers are so good. I actually feel pretty confident I can win this game now. I'm eventually going to go Biolume Egg plus this Mind Leech Ghoul, hopefully this coming turn. Death Touch is pretty nice. Pretty good to get them to exile a card from their hand, even if it is just a land. Okay. Maybe I should have double blocked that. I just want a second blocker so that this thing can't do much. Ooh, both of those are pretty good. I'm going to keep both of those. Sure, I can't play this for a little bit, but that's fine. Ah! What's my 2/2 doing? It'll save me 4 life and prevent them from drawing a card. This card's not looking like a good keep on top right now. This card's really annoying. I wonder if they'll give it lifelink. Sure. I do want to exile this guy. Because that way they can't just keep drawing cards on me. Kind of like this combo. That's one of the reasons I kept it. So I got rid of a Dreadlight Monstrosity. That's pretty good. That's an easy block. Huge. Now I really want to draw land. Nice. Whichever one they get rid of is really good for me. I really hope they get rid of the flyer, but I'd be okay if they got rid of this guy. I mean, if they got rid of this guy, that's also good for me. Yep, that makes sense. I have some removal left. If I answer this flyer, I think I'm going to win. Assuming they didn't top deck something crazy this turn. Okay. They're at a high life total, but this is manageable. I played the land there because I want to have 6 mana for that kill spell. Perfect. Grizzly Ritual. And I will take another swamp. If they have a counter spell or something for this, then that's bad and I lose, but got that. Perfect. That's why one Grizzly Ritual is really nice, because now these lands that I have, well, they're not going to be lands for long. And just like that, we're in great shape. We're in business. I have a counter spell. I've got endless stuff to do with my mana. I'm going to play this because it reduces my turn of a clock by a lot, I think. Actually, no. I can discard it. I will play a land. Perfect. I'll hold up this counter and hold up this thing. Look how smoothly this all went. Huge. Man, getting that Grizzly Spectacle was pretty fortunate. I needed to have it in the top half of my deck to have a chance there, as I didn't have that much unconditional removal. They could have a board sweeper of some kind, I think, maybe. I'm holding the lands for my blood tokens. I don't really care about that card, honestly. Shrink that guy. Okay. They keep it on top. Okay. I'm not going to use the Binding Geist right now. They have Jacob Hauken. Okay. I don't think that matters. Yep. You have to know when to hold them and when to fold them. If they tap this guy to loot, they're going to die, probably. Sure. I have a chump blocker here, so getting an extra point of damage here is quite relevant. Oh, they flipped it. I did not know that was how that worked. Whoops. Maybe I should have countered the Jacob Hauken. Sure. That seems like something worth countering. So they're at 1. I can counter unless they pay 5. I definitely underestimated this card. This isn't going to work the way they want it to. Because I get to bring back both my guys. So I have 2 lethal threats and a counter spell, so I'm going to win this game now. I think. Resolve that. Perfect. I mean, this thing's already unblockable, but might as well just do this the easy way. Got the win. That was an epic battle. But we got there in the end. We were vigilant with our counter spells. Good game, good game. See you folks next round. Welcome to another round. We have a great hand here. Just what we wanted. 2-drop, 3-drop. Just gonna play this as a normal 2/2. Maybe they're playing a similar matchup. I think we'll just go for the Lantern Bearer now. It's not great, but I don't think getting the 2/2 down matters right now. If they have Mind Leech Ghoul, yeah. Yes, they kind of had the start that we wanted. Get rid of the Ritual. Ooh, perfect. I'm glad we saved the Mind Leech Ghoul now. We'll keep lands on top. Next turn I'm playing the Mind Leech Ghoul, and then what am I doing? I'm going to keep both on top. It looks weird, but I don't think this matchup's going to go... This matchup's going to take a long time, I think. And so I'm just going to start trying to make sure that I have more resources than they do, and Siphon Essence is a good way to do that. Like, I'm not even going to Mind Leech Ghoul right now. I'm just going to start Siphon Essencing. Because I'm down a little bit in terms of cards, it feels like, and I'm hitting them for 1 every turn. They're going to bring back their Persistent Specimen. Yep. And I can just counter any exploit guys they have. They also are missing land drops. So now I am up 2 blood tokens in this exchange, and they didn't get to use their guys, which is good for me. Perfect. So now I can either bleed dry or more likely Scattered Thoughts. Just being mana efficient. Sure. I still have a good blocker for that. Okay, sure. Put that into my hand. That in my hand. I know they have all spells in hand. I would ideally be able to snipe their last 2 cards, but I'll take what I can get. So like I just got 2 really good cards from them. Next turn I can play this, pitch a land, 4/4 out. I can also just give it a flying. So this transforms into a 3/3. Yeah, we'll just hold the line for now. Oh, shoot, I have a human. Oh, this is a human. My bad. I meant not to do that. Shoot. That was a fail. In the biz, that is referred to as a fail. So they're going to hit me for 2 if I do this. They'll go to 11. I'll go to 7. They attack me for all these guys. I double block here, take. Yeah, letting this thing hit me was really bad last turn. I don't know if I could have avoided it. I'm hoping they don't have interaction. I know they have spells. So I take 2, 4, 6. This gaining me a life is pretty nice. Aye. Island. Oh, that's a heck of a draw. My gosh. Can't be blocked as long as it's sacking alone. They don't have any humans, right? Oh, they're just dead on board. 3, 6, 10, 11. Because it's 5, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yep. Jeez, I can't believe I almost missed that. Got him. Ooh, another clean win. That was an interesting game. Very interesting game. Fun one, though. Very fun. Good draw there at the end. Oh my gosh. This great honor, I have made it into silver. Here we go. I did have fun that match. That was a fun one. See you folks next round. Welcome to another round. Easy keep here. We need to hit a land, but even if we whiff on a land, we're still going to be fine. But like double Biolumeg. Biolumeg is just a disgusting card. 3 mana, sack fodder. Huge, we got there. I do like Lantern Bearer. I think it's going to be good. No attacks. 1 damage for the potential of them killing this and getting in for 3 is not worth it. Oh. That's a good card. Those are actually both very good. Because now I'm going to double sack these, and then the following turn, I'll sacrifice the Lantern Bearer. No blocks. And I'll trade these off if I can. Into a 4/4, sure. This is good for me either way because they lose the wolf that makes the pack song pup tick. And this thing can then give flying to one of my guys. Next turn I can have a lot of unblockable damage because this will be flying. And then these guys can both sacrifice land. Oh, only one of them can sacrifice the lands, I guess. This is also really good for me because it means they're probably just going to be forced to tap out this turn. Howling Moon, sure. So I hit them, they block 4, they take 6, 8, 12, yeah, they're super dead. I was wondering if I had to sack 2 islands for it to be lethal. Always worth double checking, there's no rush, I have unlimited time there. But yeah, got another win, see you next round. Welcome to another round, we have another good hand. Got the Syncopate and Scattered Thoughts to start holding up on turn 4. Got an early Ghoul. Ooh, that's even better. Nice little 2-drop. If it dies, it's fine. This is why I like this over Jacob Hauken, I think. Just start pressuring them, does more of what I need. Oh my gosh, this is just disgusting. Honestly, Biolumeg is just an unfair card. Let's see what I shall see. Ooh, Dream Shacklegeist is amazing. I don't think I need the Mind Leech Ghoul, though. Yeah, I don't know what that means, but I'm not going to fall for it. Sure. So they have a counterspell too. Neat. I'll offer the trade here. They'll probably accept because my card is better once it's in play than theirs is. Okay, so they think they can outrace me. That's valuable information. If I can Syncopate this turn, it's going to be very, very good for me. Okay, they get rid of the counterspell that I know they have. Okay. Sure. Sure. That's pretty annoying. So it's a 1-mana draw 2 for them. They're looking for lands, it looks like. Attack with everything. Let's see what they're working with. I have a Syncopate for X equals 1. So if they have like a bounce spell or something, I'm in okay shape there. Maybe they attacked with this thinking that they had this. Also, it was a free attack, so maybe I was just supposed to block. But making a 4/4 is so powerful. Wow, that's their block. Wow. I'm going to do this. Because this guy can use his ability immediately. And sure, I can only counter unless, like, if it's an exact C spell, but they didn't spend all their mana properly last turn. So maybe they're going to tap out fully this turn. Sure. So this thing can ping once a turn. I think they might just be dead. Either way, they're in very bad shape there. Sure, that thing can ping, but they have to spend like their whole turn doing it. Let's just look at the board state again. I was trying to figure out what I was going to tap. I think I tapped their flyer. Attack with everything. This thing shrinks their other flyer. And then and then they can trade this thing off for this thing. And they'll have taken 5 and be at 5. What was I supposed to shrink? Maybe this thing would attack and shrink this guy. So that it can't block this guy properly. No, because then they could double block. No, they can't double block it. Because then they lose both their guys. So I think I would tap. I could tap this thing as well. That makes decent sense too. I tap this guy. Attack with everything. Shrink this guy. Then they can trade here. Take 7. Having my flyer around is still good. And then the next turn they can untap this guy, ping this guy down. And then I would like probably play this thing maybe. Yeah, I don't know if they were dead on board there. I don't know what they had in their hand. But I don't know what the best line here was. Play this. Tap their 4th. I think keeping this guy around makes sense. I can also just sack 2 islands. So I can also just go like make that guy essentially unblockable because I think the game ends before it matters. So this thing can just make itself unblockable twice. So keeping this thing around is really valuable. So I go tap this guy, attack with everything, make this guy unblockable, shrink this guy. They can like block there if they really want to, or they do some jumping and they're taking 4 or 7 damage, and then next turn they're taking another 4. So yeah, I can even then just play this guy as a backup if I don't care about the syncopate line. But I think I do hold up the syncopate just because if they tap 3 to ping something, then they only have 3 mana left. But yeah, cool game. See you next round. Welcome to another round. We have a great hand on the play. We'll keep it. Also, just think about how different that last game is if we have Jacob Hauken instead of a 2/1 flyer for 2. Pretty different, I'd say. Oh my gosh, the perfect draw. A 2-drop. And it's even one that plays well with Siphon Essence. This is why I really like having the 2-drops that can like be proactive and stuff. So this is how this works. I attack here because it's a 2 damage attack. If I attack with this guy, they get to attack me back. And attacking for it's a bad trade of resources. This is definitely a good play for me. I want to flip this if I can. But I'm just going to use Scattered Thoughts. And I'm going to do it now in case they have Syncopate. Hallowed Egg, Swamp. Grizzly is pretty good in some cases, but not here, where this turn I can just go Biolume Egg. They could have a combat trick. Let's see which one they choose to sacrifice. Okay, they get rid of that guy. Okay, they're really desperate if they're doing that main phase. They must have needed a land drop. So if I have another land... Oh, dang, they got rid of my guy. Dang it. I do want Syncopate, but I don't want that. Play the land so I don't get hit by their Syncopate. Play the Ghoul. What'd they get rid of? They got rid of a land. So that just means that they have some extra lands in hand. Attack. I have this Lantern Bearer. I now have a 4/4 as well. Hopefully you're seeing how insane the Biolume Serpent is. It's making Mind Leech Ghoul look like a fantastic card. And they just concede. This format is really, really cool. I think this blue counters-based deck was one that I used very frequently. Like, because other players don't like the cards. Like, you saw we were wheeling the Siphon Essences and stuff. So, hopefully you, as someone who's watching this video, can be more aware of these cards and this like package of cards, these instant speed shenanigans, and use this in your own drafts, because I think it's quite good. I have other videos showing me using this strategy, and I think it's quite powerful. So I'll see you folks next round. Let's keep it rolling. Welcome to another round, another fantastic hand. Hopefully you're seeing that this is not really just me dominating them with rares. I think I have the one rare in my deck, but it's almost all just commons and uncommons. The Biolume Egg being a Scry 2 4/4 for 3 mana is just absolutely wild. I have not missed Blood Fountain. It just feels like it would have been too slow in my deck. So they're playing black-red, so the de facto kind of best deck in the format. But luckily I can kind of own their Blood Fountain with my Diagraph Scavenger. So I'm going to scry away any lands. Ooh, both of those are good. I'd rather draw Lantern Bearer first, because next turn I can go Mindless Ghoul plus Lantern Bearer. Mind Leech Ghoul. Desperate Farmer, sure. So they get rid of a card from their hand. They got rid of a mountain, okay. And getting rid of cards in their hand is way more relevant than it might seem, because it gets rid of like lands that they could discard to their blood tokens and stuff. And then I can start using Dream Shackle Geist. Oh, they're discarding right now. Okay, so they must be flooded or something. I will triple block. If they have Sure Strike, they have Sure Strike. But I think if they have like just a removal spell or something like an Abrade. I mean, I think they might have assumed I was just going to block like with the 4/4. This might just be a really bad block. Throwing the Mind Leech Ghoul on there might just be asking for trouble. Do they have like a mini sweeper or something? Yeah, that's fine. I didn't lose this guy. That's the most important thing. So they killed my Mind Leech Ghoul and like a Doom Dissenter, essentially. We're fine. We're going to hold this land for now. We don't need lands past like land 3 anyway. Okay, that's a really good card. So we're going to do it like this because we're adding our guy to the battlefield. Whereas if we'd done it with this guy, we couldn't have done both at the same time. And this thing's like, they have to kill this thing if they want to have a chance of winning this game because they're facing lethal right now. And if they just play a couple of blockers, then I can Lantern Bearer up the Diagraph Scavenger, give this guy unblockable, and win. Okay. That's pretty scary. So it's a flyer. Mm-hmm. Is this the safest way to do this? Okay, return it to the battlefield tapped, though. So unless they have... literal deal 2. They have to have the deal 2 spell. And even then, they're pretty much dead. They would have used it if they had it. Got the win. Because there is a shock variant that exiles creatures, and that's a really good card in this set, but they would have used it on my 3-1 way before that if they had it. Got the win. See you folks next round. Welcome to another round. This is actually the final round because we're 6-0. Plan on winning this one. This is going to be a great hand if I draw a couple of lands. And it's pretty clear keep though. Even though I don't draw a land for a turn, I have Doom Dissenter into Mind Leech Ghoul, which is a pretty good backup combo for when you don't have the 0-4. And we hit a land drop, so that's pretty much all we need was one land in the top few cards. You're like 70% to do that. We made the odds a little bit worse by using Evolving Wilds, but still pretty dang good odds. Turn 3 is not really a turn I care about that much. I'll just hold up both of these on turn 4. Because if it was turn 3, then I'd kind of have to counter whatever they played, which isn't always necessarily the best. But now I get to kind of like be a little bit more patient. They got rid of a land. Still valuable to get those lands out of their hand. Turn 3 can be a big turn. There's some pretty good 3-mana plays, but here now they're holding up Siphon Essence, and I just get to obliterate them. Here it actually is valuable to trade off because they're a blue-black deck just like me, so they'll have cards like Mind Leech Ghoul that can exploit the Doom Dissenter. So getting rid of the free 1/1 body is still pretty valuable. And now they're holding up mana, so maybe they have Syncopate, they have Siphon Essence, but because I've built my deck to function at instant speed, I can just scatter thoughts on their end step, and they get like maybe waste their mana this entire turn. So they just didn't do anything on turn 3 because they might have been holding up Siphon Essence. Mind Leech Ghoul. Sure, I don't really care about that. I'm just going to ditch the swamp. It still is valuable. This is still kind of okay, but they only get to do that if they exploit, which means they're losing a 2-2. They might decide that the 2-2 is less valuable. Okay, they get rid of the Mind Leech Ghoul. Sure. I'm going to get up to the Grizzly Ritual eventually. They might have a Syncopate. Okay, they probably do not have a Syncopate if that's how fast that resolves. And this thing will go to the graveyard, which is really nice for me. I don't really need another Doomed Dissenter, so I will take the land here. And here the egg isn't actually doing much for me. So I'm just going to keep holding up my Siphon Essence. And I can use Persistent Specimen on end step, because it actually attacks them. Perfect, we get to Siphon Essence that. Let's see what we shall see. Don't really want that. I do kind of want this, though. I just think a 2/1 flyer is pretty okay. Definitely want another Siphon Essence. Be mana efficient while I can. Pass turn. I'm holding this swamp because if I want to maybe discard this at some point. Sure. I have some pretty good draws available to me. Having this Grizzly Ritual gives me a lot of confidence to just keep the Siphon Essence on top. Cannot be countered. Yep, that's good against me. That is good against me. It's an almost unbeatable card in many senses of the word. But if they don't have another instant speed spell, then I can kill it with Grizzly Ritual. I don't know if I've ever beaten Hullbreaker Aura before. Did I just do it? I am going to keep those both. Got rid of their last spell. Or it's a land, I guess. This is where I hope that they don't just top deck a creature right now. This thing could gain me some key life. But if they did draw a creature this turn, I'm probably just dead. So if they do cast something I need to deal with, I can discard this land to get the Syncopate out. This is crazy. They have the Dreadfeast Demon too. These are two of the best rares in the entire set. And I'm just playing commons and uncommons. I think I've played all commons except for this Storm Chaser Drake and then my 2 eggs. Okay. That's fine. Thank goodness that wasn't a zombie. I don't think I can respond to that trigger. Yes! Oh, we got the win. Oh, man. Yeah, I had to kill it on the second main and hope they didn't flip another zombie. Even if they had flipped another zombie, I still would have won. Because I was at... They would have had 2 blockers and my 4/4 is unblockable. Let's go! 7-0, and we defeated Hullbreaker Horror and a Dreadfeast Demon. That's what I am talking about. If you made it all the way till the end of the video and you're watching this on YouTube, I do hope you found it enjoyable watching me crush folks with my ragtag band of commons and uncommons. I did have that one rare Dream Shackle Geist, which is a very good card, but it was mostly the commons and uncommons. So if you've been scared away from this format by hearing, oh, it's all bombs, hopefully this deck did a little bit to help dissuade you from that notion. This was a really fun draft, really cool strategy, and I do hope you enjoyed it. Remember to hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and comment below if you want to see more Crimson Vow drafts while this format is back. And also, if you want to let me know you made it all the way till the end of the video, in the comments section down below, leave hashtag overpowered strat, because this strat is pretty awesome and it felt pretty overpowered at times. Or just leave hashtag fried eggs, because we were frying some eggs with our Biolume eggs and it was pretty awesome. I mean, I assume Biolume eggs turn into fried eggs. I mean, fried eggs is like the superior egg of choice. Sunny side up, let's go. But also, or you could leave hashtag counter egg, because that was our strategy. Our deck archetype is counter egg. I don't know, tons of cool. If you come up with your own creative hashtag for whatever this draft deck was, let me know in the comments section down below. But hashtag counter egg is my personal favorite at the moment. But yeah, this was a really fun run, and I really hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun doing it. Lots of cool decision points, really interesting format, lots of cool stuff to do. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you next time.